Thank you, teachers, for joining us for What Do We Do When Kids Cuss in the Learning Environment? Well, first of all, we need to know that there are effects on you, the classroom, the student, him or herself, and we want to discover disciplinary options, and in the end have a common theme of don't fight fire with fire. First of all, the cursing. First thing administrator is going to ask you is, did the child cuss at you or around you, like being indirect? The child saying, you're a stupid craphead? Or did the child say, this lesson sucks? I'm using nicer words because of YouTube. It's indirect or direct. Direct, of course, is much worse than indirect. Being confrontational to a teacher and authority is never any good. I'm not going to be alarmist to say if you allow it to happen with this child, all the rest of the children are going to do it for two. No, maybe one or two or three will do it. But the whole group won't engage in that because they know better. So just take a breath, calm yourself. I think when a child is using indirect cursing, not a lot of it, but just some of it, I think it's best to contact the parents and work with them first. And you can give verbal warnings or written warnings. I would not make an honest referral out of an indirect cursing because it makes you look like you do not have control of your class. The next thing I want to do is, what's the effect on you? A lot of teachers, especially beginning teachers, say, oh my God, he cussed at me. He called me a biatch. He called me awful. It makes me feel so bad. I'm a good Christian person and I don't have to put up with this. Well, I hate to break to you, but you kind of do. The cursing is a lot worse in today's world than it was, and it's accepted a lot more by parents, by peers, and by the school institution itself more than ever before. It seems to just be not a serious thing. That's how they seem to consider it. So the effect on you. First of all, do not let it have an effect on you. Put up a wall around yourself. Say, if that child cusses, I'm going to have a poker face. I'm not going to show outrage. I'm not going to show acceptance. I'm not going to show outrage. Sometimes when kids curse indirectly, I say, you kiss your mother with that mouth? I make a joke out of it, so it's not so serious, but just put the student on edge that you crossed the line that you shouldn't have. Don't fight fire with fire. When you get into an emotional, aggressive war with a student, the teacher and the student both lose. Teacher loses some credibility with parents and administration, and student loses credibility with you and the office, but also gets recognized by his peers for being a great rebel hero. You're actually making it worse. You make the kid into a notorious figure of disrespect. Gotta be cool and chill. But the effect on the classroom cannot be ignored either. Can't let a kid come in every day cussing and hauling words around they shouldn't be. That's not good for the learning environment. It makes kids on edge. Makes kids feel bad, especially if they've been raised better. The effect on the student self. If we don't do anything to the child, no consequences. Basically tells the student, we don't care. And in an indirect way, it kind of says, you're worthless. I don't care what you do. Just go on doing what you're doing because you ain't worth it. You're not worth the attention that I'm about to give to you if you do nothing. Disciplinary options. I put in my student plan for cursing. I talk to the student first. I usually give them 2 or 3 warnings. I talk to the parents. It still continues, then I do a referral. But I usually suggest a lunch detention, something light. Again, you do not want to make these kids into rebel heroes, because that will work against your plan of learning in a peaceful classroom. In the end, do not fight fire with fire and always have a plan. And if you get one kid for cursing, like the 3rd time, you put in your lesson plan. Next kid that cusses for the 3rd time, you do exactly the same thing so the kids can't say, well, you were nice to him and you didn't do anything about him. And if you did do it, if you are being correct and honest and together with your classmate and the kids still accuse you of being unfair, say, you really don't know what's going on here, kid. You don't know who I punished. No, I didn't. So we're not going to go there. I'm not discussing other students' discipline with you. I hope that helps. Please put comments, questions in the comments. I'm glad to answer them the best I know how. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe. These videos will just disappear into nothing. Thank you, teachers, for reaching out to learn. Have a happy school year.